Battlefield delivers a brutal and emotionally intense war experience that throws viewers directly into the chaos of combat, survival, fear, and brotherhood. The movie creates an atmosphere filled with constant tension from the very beginning, showing how ordinary soldiers are forced into impossible situations where every second can mean life or death. Unlike action movies that focus only on explosions and heroic moments, Battlefield tries to capture the psychological pressure of war and the emotional damage carried by the people trapped inside it. The story follows a group of soldiers sent into a hostile conflict zone where danger exists everywhere, from hidden enemies and ambushes to the terrifying uncertainty of not knowing who will survive the next mission. The film immediately establishes a gritty and realistic tone, using dark cinematography, intense sound design, and realistic battle sequences to make viewers feel like they are standing beside the soldiers during combat. Every mission becomes more dangerous than the last, and the emotional pressure slowly transforms the characters as they begin losing their sense of safety, innocence, and hope. One of the strongest elements of Battlefield is the way it focuses on human emotions instead of only military action. The soldiers are not presented as invincible heroes because they constantly struggle with fear, trauma, exhaustion, and guilt. Throughout the movie, viewers witness how war changes people mentally and emotionally. Some characters become emotionally numb while others break under pressure, and this creates a powerful emotional connection with the audience. The movie spends time exploring friendships between soldiers, showing how strong bonds are created during life-threatening situations. Those relationships become the emotional heart of the film because viewers understand that every death or injury affects the entire group. Battlefield also explores themes of loyalty and sacrifice, especially during moments when soldiers risk their lives to save each other during deadly combat situations. These emotional scenes give the movie more depth and make the action sequences feel meaningful instead of empty spectacle. The battle scenes themselves are extremely intense and realistic, filled with confusion, smoke, gunfire, and panic. Instead of choreographed action that feels cinematic and polished, the combat often feels chaotic and terrifying. Soldiers struggle to see enemies clearly, communication breaks down, and sudden attacks create moments of pure fear. The movie uses handheld camera work and realistic sound effects to make every firefight feel immediate and immersive. Explosions shake the screen, bullets fly unpredictably, and viewers constantly feel the pressure experienced by the soldiers. Battlefield avoids glorifying violence because every action sequence carries emotional consequences. Characters are injured, traumatized, and emotionally scarred after combat, which helps maintain the serious tone of the story. This realism makes the film more powerful because viewers are reminded that war destroys lives physically and mentally. Another major strength of the movie is its atmosphere. Battlefield creates a dark and oppressive environment where danger feels unavoidable. The locations are filled with ruined buildings, destroyed vehicles, smoke-covered landscapes, and silent tension before sudden violence erupts. Even quieter scenes feel uncomfortable because viewers know something terrible could happen at any moment. The film constantly builds suspense through small details such as distant gunfire, nervous conversations between soldiers, and moments where characters silently prepare themselves for battle. This atmosphere keeps viewers emotionally invested throughout the movie because the tension rarely disappears. Battlefield also uses silence effectively during emotional scenes, allowing viewers to fully feel the grief, fear, and exhaustion experienced by the characters. The performances in the movie play a major role in making the story believable and emotionally powerful. The actors deliver realistic portrayals of soldiers under extreme pressure, capturing both physical exhaustion and emotional vulnerability. Their performances help viewers understand the emotional cost of combat. Small details such as nervous body language, shaking hands, emotional breakdowns, and silent expressions of fear make the characters feel human and relatable. Instead of relying only on dramatic speeches, the movie often communicates emotions through facial expressions and quiet moments between characters. These performances strengthen the realism of the film and make emotional scenes more impactful. Battlefield also explores moral complexity during war. The movie shows how soldiers are sometimes forced to make impossible decisions in situations where there are no good outcomes. Characters struggle with guilt after violent encounters, and the story questions whether survival sometimes requires losing part of one's humanity. These themes add emotional depth to the narrative because viewers are encouraged to think about the psychological effects of violence and warfare. The movie does not present war as glamorous or heroic. Instead, it emphasizes confusion, pain, trauma, and emotional loss. This realistic approach helps Battlefield stand out from traditional war films that focus only on patriotism or action. The emotional impact of the movie becomes even stronger during scenes involving loss and sacrifice. Several moments in Battlefield are heartbreaking because viewers spend enough time with the characters to care deeply about them. When soldiers are injured or killed, the emotional reactions feel raw and believable. The movie focuses not only on the deaths themselves, but also on how survivors deal with grief and trauma afterward. Some characters become angry, while others fall into silence and emotional isolation. These reactions feel authentic and help the audience understand the lasting emotional scars created by war. Battlefield succeeds because it treats its characters like real people instead of disposable action movie soldiers. The pacing of the film balances action and emotional storytelling effectively. Intense combat sequences are followed by quieter moments where characters reflect on fear, family, survival, and the uncertainty of their future. These scenes allow viewers to emotionally connect with the soldiers and understand their mental struggles. Conversations between characters often reveal their personal fears and motivations, making them feel more realistic and emotionally layered. Some dream about returning home, while others struggle to imagine life after war. These emotional moments create contrast with the violence and help the audience feel the emotional exhaustion experienced by the characters. Visually, Battlefield presents war in a harsh and unfiltered way. The cinematography uses dark colors, smoke-filled battlefields, and realistic lighting to create an immersive environment. The movie often places the camera close to the soldiers during combat, increasing the sense of tension and claustrophobia. Dust, debris, blood, and destruction make every scene feel grounded and authentic. The sound design is equally powerful because explosions, gunfire, screaming, and silence are used carefully to build emotional intensity. The sound of distant combat or sudden explosions keeps viewers constantly alert and emotionally engaged. These technical elements help transform Battlefield into an immersive cinematic experience. Another reason the movie resonates with audiences is because it explores universal human emotions beyond warfare itself. Fear, friendship, survival, guilt, and sacrifice are themes that viewers can emotionally understand even if they have never experienced combat. The movie uses war as a setting to explore human vulnerability and emotional resilience. Characters are constantly tested physically and mentally, and viewers watch how each person reacts differently under pressure. Some become stronger while others emotionally collapse, creating a realistic portrayal of human behavior during extreme situations. As the story progresses, the emotional and psychological pressure on the soldiers becomes increasingly overwhelming. Fatigue, trauma, and constant fear begin affecting their decision-making and relationships with each other. Small conflicts within the group grow more intense because everyone is emotionally exhausted and struggling to survive. Battlefield effectively captures how prolonged exposure to violence changes people mentally. The movie shows that even survivors carry invisible emotional wounds long after combat ends. This emotional realism gives the story lasting impact and makes viewers think deeply about the human cost of war. The movie's climax delivers some of the most intense and emotional moments in the story. The final battles are chaotic, emotional, and filled with desperation as the soldiers face overwhelming danger. Every decision feels critical, and viewers are left uncertain about who will survive. The emotional tension reaches its peak because audiences have become attached to the characters throughout the film. Battlefield combines explosive action with emotional storytelling during these final moments, creating a climax that feels both thrilling and. The movie refuses to provide a completely comforting or heroic conclusion because it remains committed to portraying war realistically. Even moments of survival carry emotional pain and trauma. After its release, Battlefield quickly gained attention from viewers who appreciated its realistic and emotionally grounded approach to war storytelling. Many audiences praised the movie for its intense atmosphere, emotional performances, and brutal realism. Fans of serious war dramas especially connected with the movie because it avoided exaggerated Hollywood-style action and focused more on psychological realism. The realistic combat scenes and emotional storytelling helped Battlefield stand out among modern war films. Discussions about the movie often focus on how effectively it portrays fear, trauma, and brotherhood during combat. The movie's trailer also generated significant excitement because it showcased intense battle sequences, emotional dialogue, and realistic cinematography. The trailer emphasized the movie's dark atmosphere and emotional tone rather than presenting it as a typical action film. Explosive combat scenes mixed with emotional character moments created strong anticipation among audiences who enjoy serious military dramas. Many viewers were especially interested in the film because of its realistic presentation of soldiers and warfare.